to no matter how tall you've grown. I find this statement to be true to me, even though I will probably never be as tall as my 6'3" dad. I assume most of you have at least one positive, influential figure in your life. For me, that person is my father. He taught me many things in life, and I thought this speech would be a great opportunity to not only share these things, but to show my appreciation for him in his retirement. I learned from my father you cannot live a successful life without working hard. Religious speaker Gordon Hinckley said, "Without hard work, nothing grows but weeds." Life is like a garden. If there's no bloom or production, there's no meaning behind it. My father has shown me, through working hard, that life is more fruitful, fulfilling, and favorable to yourself and others. My father has worked since he was young. He worked at Caterpillar at 18, and by the time he was 27, he was VP of Agricultural Finance at Springfield's Federal Land Bank. He then went on to become president, CEO, trust officer, and board member of the State Bank of Chrisman. He also built at the time Illinois' largest turkey farm, Holtz Plus Incorporated. He told me what got him through all of this was ambition, hard work, and overachieving. I learned from my father to not let my fears or insecurities get in the way of my success. Like my father, I'm a huge introvert, so being social and interacting can be difficult sometimes. My father never let this stop his success. It's like entrepreneur Mark Cuban said, "It's not about money or connections, it's the willingness to outwork and outlearn everyone." Determination, aspiration, and ambition have been his key motivators. It may be scary to go down a different path than those around you, but my father always taught me to do what I was called to do, not what others expected me to do. It is important to be your own person and not to fall into the crowd of society. Each person has their own purpose, like the sun and the moon. Just because they're different doesn't mean they're not important. It may be hard sometimes, but my dad taught me to lead by example. Siblings can be annoying. I have none. However, as an older child, my dad taught me that I can be an influential role in their lives, so I should do the best I can. This also goes for him as a business owner. A company is only as good as it treats its employees and customers. He follows this rule with his companies to help provide the best work environment and product he can. I learned from my father to not settle or stay safe in a comfortable situation when you could be using your talents at a better opportunity. My father says we should stretch ourselves and not be comfortable in life. Why be stuck at a job you hate when you can be somewhere you are passionate about what you are doing? You only have one life, so why waste it? Entrepreneur Steve Jobs said, "Your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do." If you haven't found it yet, keep looking. Don't settle. As with all matters of the heart, you'll know when you find it. My father was in a comfortable job being president of a bank, but he felt called to farming, so that's what he did. He didn't know if he would be successful, but he took the risk, and now he's passionate about what he does. So we can all choose to either stay and be comfortable in life, or stretch and face the risks or possible rewards. I learned from my father to be positive and level-headed in difficult situations. He says there's no use in getting overwhelmed and freaking out. For example, one night at our farm, it was my mom, my sister, and I, and somebody tried to break into our house. We were as frantic as a hurricane and didn't know what to do. So we called my dad, and he calmed us down and gave us clear instruction over the phone. Because of his level-headedness, we didn't make the situation worse. Roman poet Horace said, "When things are steep, remember to stay level-headed." It is important because irrationality can result in a worse situation. I've learned from my father that being part of family is important. We all need the few people we know we can trust, and we might not always like them, but we will always love them. He has shown me through self-sacrifice that time, money, and material things are only temporary. For example, whenever we go on vacation, he doesn't order any food. He just eats everybody else's leftovers. This is his way of saving money so we can all have a fun trip. He shows through self-sacrifice leads to greater happiness, and it feels good to serve others more than yourself. I learned from my dad to be patient and loving. My dad has 10 kids, 4 adopted, and has fostered 13. All of these foster kids are high maintenance, came from abusive backgrounds, and will face challenges all of their lives. However, my parents brought these children into our family with open arms. With patience, faith, and grit, my parents took on the challenge of raising kids who need the most support and love. To conclude, Claire Jones wrote the poem, As We Look Back. In part, she says, as we look back over time, we find ourselves wondering, did we remember to thank you enough for all the teachings you gave us by your example? The value of hard work, good judgment, courage, and integrity? We wonder if we ever thanked you for the sacrifices you made to let us have the very best. This poem sums up how my dad didn't tell me these lessons, but he taught me them every day through his actions. My dad taught me so much in life, and there's no way to describe my awe and appreciation for him. This speech is my way of saying thank you, and I love you, Dad.